fine. So welcome everybody to the North Central Washington Hospitality Forum. My name is Carrie Horning. I am one of the Career Connected Learning Specialists with the NCESD 171. Today's event is the second of its kind. We hosted an ag forum earlier this year that went really, really well. And that's why we're back again today, hoping to share out more skills and more opportunities for our local students. And hopefully you'll see us in the fall. Hopefully all will go well, and we'll be back in the fall to highlight some other careers. So, but today we're going to focus on some of the life skills that you can learn and earn while working in the hospitality sector. These skill sets are truly building blocks for careers of all types. Our panel of professionals today, they're going to share their journey with us, how they came into their careers and potentially some of the career opportunities that they have within their companies. But first, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. I have to say thank you to Career Connect Washington, the North Central Educational Service District, and of course the Apple STEM Network for helping make this event possible today. I also want to give an extra thank you to the Washington Hospitality Association. Because of the Washington Hospitality Association, we have gifts today. They are sponsoring 5 $100 gift cards for students who registered and then are attending today. So thank you very much, Washington Hospitality Association. That's amazing. Students, just so you know, if your name is chosen at random, we'll let you know a little bit later in the week. So you'll be notified here in the next couple of days that you're one of our winners, and then we'll let you reach out and contact the Washington Hospitality Association to claim your prize. So again, just as a reminder, please be sure everybody to drop into chat where you're from, who you're viewing with, how many you're viewing, what grade level you are. If you want to tell us how old you are, that's cool too. We love it. So, but then finally, as we kind of get rolling in, I want to make sure that last but not least, I call out Mr. Lee Hendrickson. He is our host today. He's a training consultant with SkillSource. And I think I mentioned it already. He so brilliantly hosted the Ag Forum a few months ago that he has generously agreed to host again today because I asked. I know he has a full plate on his own, but I could not help but ask him. So Lee, thank you so much for coming back today. I think you absolutely make the event.
Well, I appreciate it. I love getting to be in on this. Now you're giving away prizes. Are there any prizes for those of us helping put this thing together? Like maybe a gift certificate at Atlas Fair would be great. I go by there every day, and I think that would be very convenient.
That would be convenient.
We could win a prize there, or
yeah, I think the time spent with me today is your actual gift.
That is
we'll talk about the rest later. How about that? So let me get this started here. I'm going to do an introduction of our panel real quick, and then I'm going to pass it right on over to Lee. So let's welcome our hospitality professionals right now. So Javier O'Brien, he is the Director of Operations at Live Nation. We have Leslie Eckelbarger, and she's the Human Resource Director at Sun Mountain Lodge. Charlene Sherman is the owner of Sage Coffee House and Bistro in George, Washington. And Top and Jenny Rojanastatian are the owners of the Thai and the Atlas Fair. So with that, I want to say welcome, panel. Thank you so much for joining us. And Lee, it's all yours.
I appreciate that. So I have some more specific questions for each of our panel, and I'll take you on one at a time. So my first question, and Javier, maybe you can start. Can you tell us what, in addition to your title, what exactly is it that you do for Live Nation?
It's the title's too, I think, too grandiose title, but bottle washer and pick up garbage and all the things. But the operations here, which is we're in an industry entertainment industry where we provide coordinate live entertainment in this facility, the Gorge Amphitheater, but a lot of food and beverage is a primary component of making this event. I mean, this venue successful, which we're fortunate to be successful within the Live Nation company. So it's very, I take a very keen eye to how things are presented, served, speed of service. That's very important so that the guests, the guests have a positive experience to coming and visiting. Now, obviously, the artist is the primary reason, but while they're here, there's we want to make sure that they step in the door and they get good service, not only from our food and beverage concessionaires, but from the parking lot into their seats.
Okay, thank you. All right, Charlene, same question. What do you guys do there?
My place is actually more of it's coffee house and it's a bistro. We do bagel specialty. I'm a bagel specialty shop, and it's the only one around. Nobody else does bagel sandwiches in the area. I know there used to be one in Wenatchee. It's been gone for quite a while now, and I get people from all over the place that comes in here, and they love my bagels. I do amazing bagel sandwiches, and I get my bagels from the other side of the mountain, and we serve bagels. I have gifts. I have coffee. You just got to come in here. I don't know how else to explain it. It's bagels. That's what I got.
Excellent. And you're right on the crossroads there. All right.
I'm right on the crossroads, right off the freeway. You can't miss me.
All right. Top and Jenny, tell us what is it you guys have got going on?
Well, thanks for having us. So restaurants, I'm sure you guys know how that works. But as far as what we do all day, it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Besides, me being a chef and cooking and running service, we're dealing with kind of the logistics, vendors, shopping, making sure we have all the tools and products we need to, do our jobs. Trying to always come up with new ideas but the biggest thing is just, being leaders. We're trying to, build team morale and, make work enjoyable and for both the staff and for the guests. That's kind of what we do every day. It's a lot of fun.
Our big focus is that our team is our family. We spend a lot of time in our restaurants, their businesses, and we know our team spends a lot of time away from their family with us. And so how we support them to give the best experience to the guest, how we can support them in their careers and in their life with training and development is really important to us.
Excellent. Got it. Thank you. Leslie, fill us in. What do you typically do there?
Well, gosh, human resources is a pretty wide spectrum of jobs. And so, basically I spend all day in an office looking at a computer and working on benefits administration, working on risk management, working on the human side of a business as far as taking care of the employees' questions, helping them with filing things with the government, helping them, any way that you can help an employee, that's really what I'm trying to do. And, Sun Mountain is pretty broad compared to, maybe what we're all talking about, because we do have a restaurant. We have a couple of them. Mm-hmm. We also have a lot of rooms. And so we have, everything from, the grounds, taking care of the grounds, having the groundskeepers, having the rooms taken care of, doing the maintenance in the rooms, that type of thing, keeping the plant running for sure. And then the food and beverage, you all are very well aware of how food and beverage works. And so, it's just pretty broad spectrum. Anyway.
All right. These are, I hope our audience is realizing what you have here is you have hospitality examples in a small format that's on a crossroads. So small place with a massive clientele coming and going. You have what I would call sort of a medium-sized format for our region, and you have several large formats here. So today you're going to get some examples of what it would be like to be in hospitality or do these kind of things, even if you're just one of a team of 5, or maybe one of a team of, 105. We're going to get examples of both. I'm looking for, you guys gave me an overview. If you could come up with 5 things that you typically are doing all day in these roles, what are 5 big things that you're doing? If you're in hospitality, what are 5 things that are happening all the time? What would you say to people if someone was trying to understand what it's like? Because we see the, oh yeah, they're going to wait on me, they're going to take my order, they're going to give me the food. That's all we ever see. You guys see the behind things. What are 5 big things you're doing all the time? Let me start with Top and Jenny. What do you got? 5 things that you guys are doing in this industry. What would you say?
What do you think? Well, I'm back of the house, so yeah, I'm usually in the kitchen doing something. A lot of cleaning, a lot of prepping, but again, it's more of kind of organizing all the variables so that when it does hit service time, things run smoothly. So it's a lot of that, and my wife does a lot more than I do, so I'll let her.
This is not true, but it's very complimentary. I think what's really exciting about back of house teams is it's like magic. It's like an orchestra. You have to have all the instruments going at the same time, with the chef being really the conductor, in order to ensure that, you know, a table 4 gets their food hot together at the same time, exactly how it's meant to be made. So if you're interested, if you're creative, I think working in the back of the house is a ton of fun. It's really exciting to see. It's also hard. It's hard work they do. I run the front of our house, and number 1 came up was cleaning. So you are always cleaning. In restaurants, there's a phrase like, you should never have empty hands. If you're walking by a table, that's an opportunity to grab an empty plate or to wipe something down. And so you stay really busy and multitasking, but it's also a lot of working with people. Everything from greeting them when they arrive. So constant kind of customer service. And I think of customer service too with your staff and your teammates, because you also want to have great communication with the people you work with.
Excellent list, man. That's I took a lot of notes on that one. I'm going to ask Charlene. All right, Charlene, you have food and beverage, and you have people coming in. They're probably not coming in and sitting down as long. They're coming in with expectations. So what are those 5 things you're doing?
I've always got a constant list going on in my head, a constant list. The things that needs to be done. And usually I'm shouting them at my employees to write it down. But like Jenny said, you constantly, you're wanting customer service is number 1. And always having things in your hand. Like she said, you're always moving stuff. If you've got dishes going somewhere, time to lean, time to clean. That's always the big motto in almost every restaurant I've ever worked at in my entire life. You got time to lean, you got time to clean. But customer service, my biggest thing has always been when somebody walks in that door, you greet them, whether it's verbally. This is my number 1, verbally or eye contact, so they know that they've seen you. That's my number 1 thing on my list. That's my constant thing in my head whenever somebody walks in that door. Is customer service, customer service, customer service. That's probably my top 5 right there, is customer service. My customers are used to that when they walk in the door. And when they leave the restaurant, they are said goodbye. You know, we tell them, thank you for coming in, you know, have a great day or whatever. So it's multitasking, constant lists, and customer service. Those my top 3 right there. That's
got it.
Always on my mind.
Charlene, what you're describing is what I've heard other employers call the engaged employee. Mm-hmm. Employers are looking for people who aren't just on the job and, well, I don't even have my phone here. Well, that's amazing. Not just kicking it on their phone, ignoring the customers, but engaged. Yes. You're on the job, yes. You're getting paid, and your job is to interact with and greet those customers. Yes. Because without the customers, there's nobody spending money. Without the money, there is no paycheck. There's no reason for me to have a job. So, well,
the customer's the one that is the customer's the one that signs their paycheck.
Right.
I was taught that years ago from another job, that if it's not the customer, you don't have a paycheck.
Right. So staying engaged. So to the audience listening, if you're the kind of person who can be engaged, you can get on the job and you can stay focused and people matter to you, you would do well in this industry.
Exactly.
Javier, what have you got? What are 5 things that you're premium on your list of getting done every day?
I would probably have to say, I do a lot of forecasting, budgeting, so that we could reach marks, we set goals, so whether we're trying to, not generating revenue, but also not to exceed expenditures, or it's not being wasteful, or make sure we're minding the purse. But scheduling employees, scheduling supplies, that's prime. Constantly doing that. Make sure that you have the staff that are going to be scheduled in the right levels, so that you can handle the influx of people coming in at the right times. Constantly site preparation. We got over 250 acres here that we use it at multiple nights. Only some of it is parking, some of it is we have a camping operation along with the venue. There's some of our events are festivals, so we become a city in within a week, and we operate like that. So having the infrastructure and having your supplies all, and then having the site prepped to accommodate those large crowds. Those are probably my primary things that I do prior to an event.
That is an excellent list. I'm seeing the contrast here from one focus is the actual delivery, and then the other focus when you get big is like there's so many details to take in, all with the same goal, making sure the customer has the right experience. So Leslie, put it together for us. What are those things you're doing all day?
The reality is you want to have the best guest experience possible.
Best guest experience.
And whatever you can provide for them. So first of all, you want a property that is appealing when they drive up. And so grounds is so extremely important. And then you want a guest services at the front desk so that people feel like they're welcomed. And so you train your staff to, talk with a smile on your face, and, be sincere in what you're saying, and know what your product is, obviously. And then when they get out to their rooms, we want them to have a clean room. We want them to walk in and say, wow, this is great. And, that does happen quite often. And then, of course, when it's time to go and get food, you want them to be seated on time. You want them to receive attention quickly. You want them to feel at home in your restaurant or in the bar, either one. And, just ultimate guest experience. That's what we're all about.
Nice. I'm seeing, again, this is the common theme. Ultimately, it comes down to who is coming to your event or your establishment. Do they have a good time? Do they feel served? Are they taken care of? I like how you said it. The first impression, they're going to roll up. If the place looks neat and organized and like you've got a plan, that makes an impression. It sets a standard. I have traveled all over the world. I've had all manner of experiences and I can tell you, it's that human element. Is the place clean? Do the people care? Even if you've got a language barrier of whatever kind of barrier you've got, do they care, and are they engaging, and are they taking care of you? It just makes all the difference in people's lives. So let me come back around here to Top and Jenny. What do you guys like most about this kind of work?
I'll circle. I love the interaction with people, whether that's the guests or our staff. I like that I'm able to, use my knowledge and skills to make something that others enjoy. And the opportunities that, being a chef or restaurateur kind of provides. I've gotten to, like you said, travel. I've gotten to meet cool celebrity chefs that I've, looked up to. I've gotten to do a lot of that. So that's kind of my favorite part, is just getting to do what I love to do anyway. But as a job, it's really cool.
Excellent.
I would say I love that it's always changing and it's dynamic. So no one day is going to look the same. I think you have to have your foundations. If you talked about great guest service, but it's fast paced and it's fun and it's dynamic. And so it's always looks a little bit different. For us, building up to be entrepreneurs and owning our own businesses means another level of hospitality is that we've really got to be creative and share what we love with people, which is a pathway for students. You can start in these fields and then go down the path at some point, maybe to even owning your own spot. So for us, when we opened our second restaurant, we got to bring in things that we both loved and built that together, which was really special to do as entrepreneurs and as a husband-wife team.
Nice. I can't write fast enough. You guys are doing great. Leslie, what are you saying? What do you like the most about this?
Getting to meet new people every day. If you will make eye contact as you're walking down the hallway, somebody looks like they're lost, you can say, hey, can I help you? Is there something I can do for you? I met a couple one time. They were standing down by the dining room, and I found out that it was their 35th wedding anniversary.
Oh, nice.
And so I took them into the Wolf Creek Bar and Grill at the time and ordered a dessert for them, and I paid for it. And you get to help people. You get to put a product out there that people actually enjoy. And interacting with our staff, I'll tell you, that is one of the highlights of my life. They are so diverse and they have so many different things going on, and they each bring so much to the table. And, being a part of a team that helps them feel like they belong, like they are a very important part. And I think that Sun Mountain has done that very well, letting the employees know you're important to us. And I think that's a good thing to do.
Excellent. Javier, what are you liking most about your job?
I'm just thinking back, like, I know I do like my job. I love my job. I can't believe I made that. I'm just kidding. No, I just the opportunity to not only work with great colleagues and people and staff, and that make my job easier, but the energy that it is created, I kind of feed off that. It's nonstop, and so it doesn't. I try to catch a few hours of sleep, but it is just the energy. It keeps me young. I've been doing this for a number of years, so. But I think you get to be creative. You solve problems. You're a plumber one time, you're an engineer another, you're a stage hand, and you're working, taking care of solving guest issues or problems. So you wear a lot of different hats, but I guess that's what makes it appealing.
Excellent. I think I could like that job. That sounds all right. If I didn't collapse under that. Charlene, what are you saying to that? What do you like most about your job?
Like everybody else, meeting new people.
Okay.
I get the chance to meet new people from all over the world here. I've had people from Greenland, Thailand, all over. It's crazy, but one of the best things that I like is getting to change people's mind about bread and bagels. I've got to convert people from bread to bagels. It's amazing to watch their face going, nope, I'm not eating a bagel. And I'm like, just seriously, I'll buy your bagel. I'll buy your sandwich if you don't like it. And I haven't had to buy anybody's sandwich yet.
Nice.
So, but it is meeting the people and and my staff as well. I've got to watch a lot of these kids grow.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Carrie's daughter has worked for me for the last, is it 4 years now, Carrie? I think this is her 4th year. If she comes back, So I've got to see a lot of these kids grow up that have worked for me, and I've been involved in their lives. I've got a school teacher that has worked. In fact, she's coming back one day this year for my 10-year anniversary. I've got a marine biologist, or I can't remember if she's a marine biologist, but she works in environmental science. So that's something that is really rewarding for me, is getting to see these high school kids that have worked for me, and then they come back and I get to see what they've done. So it's everything for me.
It's interesting. You're bringing it back to the people as well. So
yes,
whether you're talking about a big facility or a small one, ultimately it's coming down to the people and the humans. That's what I'm hearing over and over again.
And this place is small. It's only 1,000 square feet. It's tiny.
But you make a lot happen there. Yeah.
Yes, she does. Hey, we have one question from the chat I'd like to bring in. It's
yes, do.
It makes good timing. Lisa Pinkleton, Pickleton from, oh my gosh, I apologize, I forget what school, but her question was, as for the panelists, what is it that you're looking for when you're hiring entry-level workers?
Excellent. That's my question number 7. I'll check that off. Who's taking that one on first?
I will.
Go ahead.
We look for self-starters. We look for people who can come in and work a shift, be happy in what they're doing. We'll try to give them all the tools that we can to make it as appealing as possible for them. But, and we also have students that come in. In fact, our AM dining room manager right now started with us when she was 14 years old, going to Liberty Bell High School. And so, you know, with this, it's not just a job for some people, it's building a career. And the things that you can learn here, the interactions with other people, you know, it's make eye contact, be bold, don't hold back, you know, be yourself, but, you know, be respectful. And yeah, and if you can do that, be a self-starter. It's work autonomously. That's always good.
Okay.
And, you know, not have to be told everything that you need to do. Learn, like Charlene said, learn that you never leave with an empty hand. You know, you never just, or maybe it was Carrie said that, but whoever. Anyway, you know, just build skills, you know, build skills. That's it.
Got it.
And know that there is place for advancement.
Excellent.
I mean, you can go out into the world or you can stay here.
Okay. Charlene, what are you looking for in that new person?
Self-starter, somebody that's willing to learn, and if they see something that needs to be done, that's willing to jump right in there. Somebody with a personality, that's outgoing, that as soon as somebody walks in the door, eye contact is really big, and somebody that I can bring out of their shell. I've had to do that before. Somebody that's kind of quiet and shy. I've been able to do that, bring them out. That little monster in there, I know I can do it. So, because here you kind of have to bring out your voice. It gets very loud, and we have to shout out names because this building has been packed before, and you can't hardly hear the person next to you, and so you have to yell out their name to get their food to them. And if you can't yell, they're not going to hear you. So you have to bring out the monster in yourself, and you have to shout that name. And my little Piper did. So yeah, we have to have somebody that can really get in there and get that name out, and somebody with a lot of energy. Yeah, it's you just gotta. It's really hard to find those people sometimes that can. It's hard to explain. You just. I'm not really sure if I'm explaining it right, because it's.
I think
when you come in here in the summertime, it's like I said, it's packed on a concert weekend, because we get a lot of the gorge people that come up here to eat in the summertime, and it's literally a line out the door and almost around the building.
What I've heard you say is you're looking for someone who actually participates. They're going to be there.
Yes.
They're going to be engaged. They're going to participate.
Yeah.
They're going to bring some energy to it.
Yes.
And I think of that. We've all been to places where the employees are not there. And
Yes.
you can ask them to make your sandwich, and they'll say, well, what do you want on it? And I'll say, what are my options? And they will go and point at the sign. Oh, a couple times after pointing at the sign, I will talk to them. I say, you don't really like your job, do you? They'll say, no. I say, well, I work for SkillSource. You should come see me. But yeah, no pointing at the sign. All right.
Some days that's all I want to do
Just point at the
after a long
sign.
day.
Top and Jenny, what are you guys looking for? If somebody shows up at your business and says, I want to work for you, what are you looking for?
Well, in addition to what everyone else said, I'm just, someone willing to learn, wanting to learn, someone who's a critical thinker. Because like, even though it seems like you're doing repetitive processes, we're not looking for robots. We're looking for people who have interests and passions, and those interests and passions actually help them connect and drive them to do any job better, I think.
I would say this is actually more in line with interviewing. I would say for the youth listening to be really clear on what their availability is. I think we're really passionate about, especially our young people who are still in high school working for us. They've got after school sports, they've got band, they've gotten really important things that we support as employers and college, having that time off, but coming in and saying, this is when I am available and not. And if you don't want to work on a Saturday night just because you like Saturday nights for friends, probably not in hospitality is probably not the right field. So just knowing what your availability is, and it's okay to have those other commitments, and those are going to be supported, I think, by a lot of employers, but being clear.
So if somebody has got a lot of outside interests, a lot of other activities, you don't see that as a detriment. You see that as, here's a person who's living life, engaged, and makes things happen. And you're assuming they'll bring that to work as well?
Well, I think that
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that we want to see our young people engaged in multiple activities. If that's for them. We've got one busser who's really active in dance. And so she does dance competitions some weekends and she can't bus for us. And we're really supportive. And then we've had students who actually were at Eastern WSU and came back on the weekends to work at our restaurant. So obviously we support them getting their 4-year degree as well. So I think, again, it's about the whole person. So we want to support those endeavors.
Excellent. Javier, what are you thinking? What do you look for in those new people?
Entry level means that, they probably haven't held a job yet. It's probably their first time applying for a job. And so sometimes they don't have a lot of work experience, but if they're taking initiative, they can at least communicate some of the things they've done, what activities they're involved with or groups. And that kind of gives you an indication that they have some, whether initiative or leadership skills or somebody that would be fine in an entry level position that you may have.
Initiative and leadership skills. Excellent. What the reoccurring theme I'm hearing here is you don't mind if people have other activities and are engaged out there or have conflicts in their schedule. You're looking for people who are participating in life, have energy, have interests. These are the kind of people that do well in your industry. So if you're in the audience that's listening and you're thinking, oh, this sounds good, I always tell people to think about how you're going to answer that, some of those interview questions. A typical interview question is, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. And if the answer is, well, I'm 17 and I spend 12 hours a day playing video games. As an employer trying to translate that interest and ability to hospitality, that's going to be a challenge. So between now and your next job, now is a great time to maybe leave the house, go volunteer places, go get involved in the community, go get those jobs. So when you're in an interview and they ask you, tell me about your experience, tell me about what you can do, you've got an easy answer. Oh, let me tell you about it. I worked at the Gorge this summer, and let me tell you about what we did. Or I got down there to Sage, and let me tell you about the coffee that I learned to make. If you can get excited about skills you've gained, if you can brag about activities you're doing, that shows that have the energy and the things that these employers are looking for, clearly. The disengaged person it's a tough package to sell. And I have this conversation with adults all the time. It's a tough package to sell if I'm not participating in life in any way. Am I being too direct? Is this too much? Do I need to dial it? All right, I'll dial it back. All right. Another question for the team. Okay, great. I wanted to know, because I want to be right up front with the people listening. What do you guys like the least about these jobs? What is it you don't like to do? I'm looking at 3 of the faces, looking, I'm not sure. And then I see Top and Jenny just like, it looks like they have an answer immediately. Let's start there. Top and Jenny, what do you like the least about this?
You want me to go first? Well, there's only so many hours in a day. And like we said, these jobs take up a lot of those hours. So my wife, we don't see as much of each other as we want, but also maybe sometimes hospitality restaurants can feel insecure. I mean, there's some, there's things that can affect how you do your job. I don't know, like the weather or economic stuff or something like a global pandemic or something. I don't know.
Yeah, who knew? Yeah.
But no, so sometimes it may feel like you can't control a bunch of things, but again, that's where the whole, enjoying being creative and problem solving and things like that, that's where that comes into play.
Got it.
But yeah, those are a couple of the I know negative things.
I would say we are a customer focused industry, and sometimes customers are unhappy with you, and we're all going to experience that. Sometimes you mess up. I make mistakes every day. I make mistakes in the restaurant. Sometimes you have to make it right for the guest and apologize. And that never feels good because you want them to have a good experience. Sometimes guests want something that maybe is unreasonable, like say changing your menu items to things that it's not, and you have to convey that that's not an option. And so sometimes those are difficult conversations. And I think Top's always really good about seeing the big picture. Like if we overall, our team and our guests are consistently happy, you're going to have those days where someone maybe is prickly, and that's hard. And that's hard, even if you're feeling really confident in the role. So sometimes you're going to have a negative interaction, and you just have to have a little grace with yourself and with them and try to move forward.
Prickly. I like that one.
Yes.
Leslie, what are you saying? What do you like the least about doing this?
Coaching, counseling, and disciplining.
Okay.
It's hard. But if someone is willing to learn, then through coaching and counseling, we can get them better suited for the job that they're in and better suited for where they're going in their life. The disciplining with the potential of having to let someone go, very, very hard. It's not anything that we like doing. But, I feel that most of the time, anyone who, we actually come to that point, they should have known ahead of time,
right?
Because we've tried to let them know, this is not the proper behavior for looking at your phone, talking in an improper manner, those kinds of things. It's really hard. And, but it's something that you have to do, and it's not a very pleasant thing to do.
Got it. Javier, what are you saying? What do you like the least?
Sorry, I was muted. I guess the worst thing, or the things that it would be, it could be things that you can't control, but if it's the weather, I wish you could control the weather. It'd be gorgeous all the time, but sometimes it's not that, and so that kind of puts a damper on things. And so, but on the things that I think. Counseling for trying to make corrective actions. That's not very fun, because that means that that person is struggling, or maybe perhaps it's not a right fit for the position they're doing. So hopefully you can make it you can realize that, or you can help them with maybe get them into the right position, or maybe another type of line of work.
Charlene, how about you? What's your least favorite?
Paperwork.
Oh, paperwork. I'm surprised we
And,
didn't hear more of that. All right.
That's what I feel like I'm always doing is paperwork, but and correcting bad behaviors, like on the phone. Sometimes I've got staff that likes to play on their phone, and when they start doing a bad behavior on not cleaning certain things, not doing the right steps or missing a step in certain things, then you have to go in and you have to correct it. And discipline, like Leslie was saying, sometimes you don't want to have to discipline them or have the discussion, and then eventually it ends up leading to having to let them go. That's one of the worst things. I hate doing it. I do not like letting somebody go. It's hard. So those are my worst. I hate those.
Interesting. You're all the kind of people who care about people. That's why you do
Oh, I
this
do.
job, and it's why you're good at it. And when you got
Yeah.
someone who's making everybody else's experience suffer, you have to do something about it.
Yeah.
I've been hearing this, so to our audience, I've been talking to employers for 20 years. For 20 years, I've been hearing employers tell me they want people who can show up every day on time, drama-free, cell phone off, ready to give 110% and be engaged. I mean, these are the same things. It doesn't matter what industry. And if you can't show up on time, drama-free, cell phone off, ready to be engaged, you're not going to have success in whatever job you get into. It isn't just this industry. It's pretty much every industry. So that's on your checklist of things to develop: the ability to show up on time, drama-free, cell phone off, ready to give 110%. Should I say that 800 more times? All right, I'm looking at the clock. There's some things I want to make sure we get to.
We've got one more question in chat right now too, Lee. I'm not sure if you saw that, but
I did, about the age. Is
Yes.
that one? Okay, so this goes along with that.
Okay.
So if people who are in high school, coming out of high school, are going to come to your business and apply for a job, what kind of jobs are there that they could be applying for? I'm really curious. What do you look for in that person? What kind of training or skills would they need to have coming in? Is there an age requirement? What kind of jobs do you have, and what are you looking for in those? Being specifically, and I've kind of got a little loop going here. I'd love to start with Top and Jenny again. What can they do, and what are you looking for?
So we hire start youth in high school. So I just hired a busser this weekend. She's 15. She's never had a job. And I'll tell you about that interview in particular, kind of more of a quiet individual. And I think sometimes we've talked a lot about people skills and how important that is. But it's okay not to walk in the door and be like, hello, here I am. Sometimes your first job is nerve-wracking. And as long as like you said, that willingness to learn, and that's what she really demonstrated. And so she had no job experience, and we're happy to provide on-the-job training. We usually start someone with no experience in a busser capacity. So they're providing like support or as a dishwasher in the back.
Oh yeah. But yeah, from the back of the house, we've had people in high school join our teams without any work experience, and it's all about, are they like wanting to learn the skills? Because we actually like, teaching people who like to learn, who don't have bad habits and things like that. But personally, we've had I've had a gentleman who started it when he was 16. I remember he got his driver's license, and the first thing he did was come apply for a job. And many years later, now he runs the kitchen for me over at one of the restaurants, So yeah, it's even in high school, like, I think I don't know, there's a lot that they can surprise you with, like work ethic and things like that. Even if they're lacking some experience, it's we're full opportunity.
All right, excellent. Leslie, what kind of jobs can people do working for you?
We can start them at 14 years old.
14.
But they're limited on what they can do. So bussers in the dining room, dishwashers, as Top and Jenny were saying. I can also have them be a housekeeping assistant. So they can work with the housekeepers. They just have to be with an adult employee at all times. And so, we could even have them helping out on the grounds. You just have to be careful what equipment you let them use.
Okay.
And you have to make sure that your managers or whoever's in charge of scheduling remembers that they are limited on the hours that they can work and how late in the day they can work. So in other words, I can't bring somebody in for the front desk from 4 to midnight if they're 15 years old, because they can only work until, 8, 9, 10, whatever.
Okay.
So, that's, and really the entry level dishwasher, busser, assistant housekeeper, those are the ones, once they are 17, of course, that their hours can increase, their skill set can increase, and then after they're 18, they can do whatever they want. So it just, you just need to stay in line with, what the state says you have to do
Got
as
it.
well.
So Leslie, if you get someone right out of that's still in high school, there's only certain jobs they can do. But if they are there, they turn out to be the kind of employee you're looking for, then when they turn 18 and or leaving high school, then is there more opportunity for them?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, we had our dining room manager right now started when she was 14 years old as a busser in the dining room, went into being a hostess. And I think she worked as a server part of the time, was a supervisor. Now she's a manager, and you can do that in the kitchen. I had a kid that started when he was, I believe, 16 as a dishwasher, and now he is our AM sous chef.
Wow.
So, there's always room for advancement as long as the management staff are willing to put the work in for that advancement to happen. And, I don't know a restaurant around that doesn't want to build somebody from ground up
Okay.
and, get them really settled into, let's increase your duties. Let's jump in and do something more. Let's start as a dishwasher. Let's get into some prep. Let's go to the pantry. Let's do the bake shop. Let's do, let's get on the line. And, it's just, so there's always that progression available, but the student really needs to show an interest in doing that. So in other words, if I don't have any dishes to wash, let's go over and just check out what pantry's doing and maybe learn something there while I'm at it.
Wow.
Or let's stand here by the guys at the line and listen to what they're doing and, how they're timing things. And, there's always something to learn.
Excellent. Again, the reoccurring thing. I love it. Dishwasher to sous chef. It
Yes.
sounds like a promotional video. We would have it Skill Source. It'd still be on VHS. But I'm sure it is. Javier, what kind of jobs can they be doing for you?
Well, we like applicants to be at 16. We prefer the starting age that's usually an age where they won't get around the having having those limits of because we do operate at late at night. So 16 was the best. We have taken some 15 and a half on some occasions, but usually it's 16 is at least a starting. There's some positions that it requires that you have to be at least 18 to work. So
what kind of jobs could 16-year-olds be applying for there with you?
Yeah, there could be there can be from usher, ticket taker. We have a position called fan ambassador where you're very you're roving around the grounds and assisting guests, giving directions where things are at, and you're vocal. So those are probably those entry level positions that somebody can apply for.
All right, thank you. Charlene, what can people do for you if they come to work?
15 is the age I prefer, and I prefer actually if they're don't have experience, because we'd rather train them. We like to train them,
Okay.
so that way they're trained the way I want them trained.
They're going to learn how to
So-
make lattes and make bagel sandwiches.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Carrie, by my clock, we have 9 minutes. I have one more question I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I
But do
think
you have
let's
some,
do it.
should we have time to do that one?
Yeah, let's do it. If we're running over, it's going to be recorded. If you have to jump off, you can jump back and find the recording. I'll make sure that gets emailed out to everybody attending.
All right. What I'm going to ask the panelists to do is I want you to imagine you could go back in time and talk to yourself when you were in high school. What would you say to the 15-year-old version of yourself about what they needed to know for the future that they're going to get into? Or what would you say to the 15-year-old, 16-year-old that's sitting here thinking about getting into this industry, and who knows what conception they have? Maybe they have one picture of what this means, but you have since learned that it means something else. What would you say to that 15-year-old version of yourself getting into this? Whoever wants to jump into this one first, go for it.
Okay, fine.
Thanks, Leslie.
Pay attention in class. The teachers have things to impart to you that you don't know that you're going to want later on. English was not one of my favorite courses, but in the course of my job now, I use it a lot. Diagramming sentences. I never could figure out what in the world do I want to know how to diagram a sentence for, but I can tell you what, I use it all the time now. And that algebra, it's like, who wants to do algebra? But I'm telling you, it makes a difference when you get up into, you have to figure out, you've got a tip pool, and you've got to figure out who gets money out of this 2-week period from that tip pool. Well, you're going to need to have some pretty good math skills in order to make sure that it works out based on the hours that they're working. How many hours has this person worked? This is how much of the tip pool they get. How many hours did this person work? This is what they get. There's things that you use that right now you're thinking, I don't even want to go to that class. But I'm telling you, pay attention, because when you're coming up, you don't know what your future is going to hold and how important those things are going to be when you get up there later on. Even without a degree, there's still things that you use. And those are two of the things that I use all the time that, of course, when I was 15, I thought, ew. So
Leslie, I hated school with a passion. I was the worst student. It's a miracle I work at one now. I can remember second year working construction, and I'm trying to calculate how deep to dig holes and things. And I've got my, I'm shooting grade, and I realized I'm doing geometry. I can't remember. I came to this job and I have to write things up, and I realized I'm using the English that I learned. All this stuff I despised, turned out I did put it to use later. So, all right, who's up next? Who's got a word of advice for your younger self? Oh, Top and Jenny are, yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt. No, I would just say, if I could talk to myself or the young people, it's kind of really figure out what your priorities are, kind of manage your priorities, because I remember when I was younger, and I used to be a pretty social guy. And I think as you hone all your skills and your knowledge, but as you grow, there's always going to be more opportunities for you to, hang out and be social. But these, for me, it's like, if I just knew my priorities better back then, I would know that I'm not missing out on what I thought I was missing out, because, being in this industry can take you around the world, traveling, and so you're always going to have time for fun, if so that's what I would have told myself.
Excellent. Nice.
We were looking up the highlights of careers in hospitality, and we shared all about these great local opportunities, but hospitality and tourism is billions of dollars worldwide. And you can really, if you get a passion for hospitality and you want to travel out of our community, what a great place to launch and go abroad, or to apply to other fields.
Excellent. I'll take it. Charlene, what would you say?
Pay attention in class.
Man, I'm not digging this. This is
I didn't. I was kind of the class clown, and I managed to make it through high school and stuff, but I would have paid a little more closer attention to my economics classes and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right.
because I didn't.
I'm with you. All right. Javier, what's that word of advice to your younger self?
My younger self. Geez, it's been a while, so I was young. I would say that, don't be afraid to try new things, and whether that's trying something that you're not maybe comfortable with. So taking risks it's not gonna hurt.
Excellent. I can't thank you guys enough. This is excellent. Makes me want to be a dishwasher again. I've washed. I am a great dishwasher. I am an awesome.
Come on
dishwasher.
out. The
Higher.
summer concert season, come on out.
I'm good.
Well, that was I was gonna say, that's kind of I remember my recollection, one of my first jobs in high school. He was a busser and then a dishwasher at a restaurant. So I'm kind of didn't stay in that industry, but I went a different path. But it kind of comes back around.
I think it does. So, Carrie, what I have not been able to keep an eye on the chat. What have we missed, or what do we need to address to make sure people get what they need?
Well, I think we're doing pretty good. Yes, I'm taking a few questions. If you want to send student names to me, that'd be terrific. I'm going to put my my email in the chat right now. If you have questions, feel free to go ahead and ask those questions via chat. And while you're asking those, I'm going to actually go ahead and say some thanks again. I want to make sure that I call out again Washington Hospitality Association. It's really terrific to have them sponsor this event today and offer up these gift cards and build some excitement around the hospitality industry. And again, too, big thanks to the NCESD, North Central Educational Service District, Career Connect Washington, and the Apple STEM Network for helping make this happen and allowing us to do the work that we're doing here today. And then too, I want to say thank you to my panel. A lot of times I get asked, well, how do you get these people to participate? And my answer is very simple. I just ask. And I think maybe that's a good lesson, for the students as well. If you don't ask, you're never going to get it. So you might have to be prepared to hear no, but you got to get out there and ask. So to each and every one of you, some I have known much longer than others. Some I'm looking forward to getting to know better, just meeting you today, but I want to thank you all for coming in and sharing your insight and your experience with our students. It looks like we've got students from 8th grade on through into seniors in high school. And I think the information that you're sharing is so valuable. I too spent some time in the hospitality industry. I waitressed for over 4 years. And I'm telling you, the skills that I learned there have allowed me to do the work and be successful at the work that I do today. And it's hustle, it's working hard. It's if you've got time to lean, you got time to clean. And you might not want to hear it, but that helps you when you're out on your own, not living at home and nobody else is picking up after you. So that still helps today. But yeah, I think again, just thank you to everybody who's participated. I'm kind of peeking, at the questions. Thank you. Lots of thanks. Lots of job openings in the service and hospitality industry right now. And then too, everyone, you have my contact information. If you have more questions after the event, please feel free to reach out. If I don't know the answer, I can get the answer from one of the panelists or from someone else and get back to you for sure. But this recording will be put out on our YouTube channel for Career Connected Learning and the Apple STEM Network. You can find it there. And again, just thanks for coming in, everybody. We appreciate it. Hope you learned something. Lee, thank you, sir.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Hey, thank you.
And Charlene, I
you.
will see you next time I'm crossing I-90. And Top and Jenny will be getting into Atlas Fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come try that one.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I haven't got to get in there. And you have like a secret entrance. Do you have to have a secret knock to get in Atlas Fair? No. All right. Well,
I'll let you know, Carrie. I'll let you know if somebody that participated maybe ended up working out here this summer.
That'd be great. We'd love to hear that. That's a big success story, and we'll talk all about it. Share it out.
Well, thank you.
Encourage others. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate you. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Lee.
Bye.
Thanks, Les.
all right. See you
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye, Carrie.
Bye-bye, guys.